how would your educational background can help tax clients
Can taxpayer file individually
individually
through
by
TurboTax?
themselves? I didn't
Then
say easily, or the expense or the income is carrying it over to which form. If you don't have a knowledge of the forms, then you are out of line. Individual tax preparation cost anywhere from. Hello, everyone. Once again, Tax Magic is back with the tax talk. So, today we will be covering individual tax filing, some interesting fact. And today we have our accounting and tax admin, and then his name is Shams. He's one of our key player in the Tax Magic, and we will ask his expertise from his own perspective. Thank you very much for joining us, Shams.
welcome, sir.
So, I would
Thank you.
like you to explain your expertise to our audience. What are your expertise? What is your educational background?
Currently, I'm enrolled in PhD management science in finance, especially in finance. MS management, MBA finance. I have different background, academic backgrounds, and as well as professional background.
Excellent.
So
So, how would your educational background can help our tax clients, or especially business tax clients? So, when we get to that point, when we are discussing the business tax filing, so we can probably use your expertise of accounting, correct?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wonderful,
Definitely.
wonderful. So now, shall go ahead, carry on.
Definitely, we need some kind of concepts, theories, and a different perspective relevant to the tax and accounting
Accounting,
when you
yes.
are performing tax of individual or businesses.
Business
So
independence, yes.
this academic background will help
Definitely,
me.
theory,
Yes, definitely.
yes. Theory
Theoretical
always
background.
help,
Yes,
yes.
sir. Yes,
So now
absolutely.
we will discuss our show. The purpose of our show, the Tax Talk, is so we can, instead of too much focusing on the technical part of the tax return, the laws and all that, we will focus initially the approach the
Right,
taxpayer
right.
usually have, and because of the incorrect approach, usually they end up either the wrong tax professional. I mean, I should not say the wrong tax professional. I think it's not. What I would say is with the professional who do not have the expertise to deal with your complex tax return. Okay, so now I'll move to the next one. So now our next topic is self filing. So we will cover in this episode self filing. So do you have any concerned questions about the self filing?
Yes, definitely. Because I feel that is tax filing a little bit confusion for taxpayer, especially. Can taxpayer file individually
Individually, yes,
through
by
TurboTax?
themselves, yes. Yeah,
Through
that's, I mean,
TurboTax,
yes. TurboTax is the most common software
most
used,
common.
most common.
Yes.
And most people, when they are doing self filing, they can do that, yes. And also for audience to inform them that IRS is
Do
also,
they really need to go to the tax professional?
yes, I will tell you why. IRS also offer free preparation, so they don't even have to pay anyone. They can use it. But again, the question is, you have to understand how the system works. The way system works is when you are preparing your return as a self filer. So remember, self filer, when you're preparing your tax return, you're not bound by any license, you're not bound by any bond or errors and omission. So taxpayer, they can pick and choose, select anything that suits them, that can result in either the more refund or the less tax liability, vice versa. So that's why, if you don't know what you're doing, I would recommend to use a tax professional.
Yes. What kind of advantages a
And
taxpayer can be get?
major advantage that not that I'm a tax professional that I'm promoting, but here is my experience. Every time when you are going through the professional system, it has tax professionals PTIN number, their certification and all that, and then IRS knows that it's coming from the authenticated ERO, who has been gone through the background check with IRS. So
Right.
it's more trustworthy versus self filing. So self filing can be more scrutinized by IRS, or can flag if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
And if you
Right.
enter the wrong number, or even though you enter the correct number, but there are many different fields that, because the TurboTax, I'll tell you,
Initially, you talk about a taxpayer can file easily free of cost.
I didn't
Then
say easily. I said they can file.
they can file.
Yes,
Yes, yes, they
not
can file.
easily.
So
Yeah.
what is the procedure? How can they file?
Well, procedure, I will not tell you, otherwise I'll lose my business. I don't want to lose my business by telling you how. No, but I mean, joke apart. Yes, you can do it if it's simple return. You know what you're doing, how to process. But with us, see the cost versus benefit. The taxpayers have to understand. First, they have to calculate their time worth. What is their time worth? So, such as most of our client from California. So, speaking of California, so I kind of missed informing our audience that we are located in two states. We are performing two states. We have two offices in California, Northern California, and two offices in Houston area. Our main head office is in Hayward, California. Those are our main office, but we have client all over the U.S. So going back to the point of the tax professional, is that was your question, right? I kind of missed it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so
I have
this
one
is.
more question
Oh
regarding
yeah,
you have
definitely. I'll.
already told me that told us that the California and Texas,
Yeah, those are two
two
different
different
states. They
states.
have, yes.
So
So multiple. Yeah, the difference, little bit of difference. So we will get to that. We'll cover that.
okay,
But the first is self-filing. Yes, you can, but you have to understand what is the worth of your time.
right.
We have clients in California, and then average client income is, it's a good income. I would not kind of mention here, but if they calculate their hourly time, it costs them at least 250 to $350 an hour. That's what their time worth. And then when you are trying to do your own tax return, first, it's a normal psychological thing. You keep putting it off. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. So you keep like, oh, you don't have documents. So you keep putting it off. By the time you know that you approach the deadline, and then all of a sudden, oh my goodness, it's the last day of tax filing. We have to file it.
Right.
So that's a major problem. And then again, you spend like few hours. If you know what you're doing, fine. If you don't know, and if your tax return is complex, you have multiple properties, you have businesses, you have LLCs, you have multiple source of income, and you don't know how to organize within the tax software, then good luck. Then good luck, I would say. Yes.
In your last answer, you explained you were talking about the tax professional.
Uh,
So why a taxpayer
Needs a, oh,
needs
okay,
a
good.
taxpayer?
Yes. No, as I said, like when you are using TurboTax, IRS. So the system shows that self filing, self prepared.
Hmm.
So as I mentioned, self prepared means those softwares they have optimization system. You are at the mercy of the computer. Computer asks you question and you answer, and the computer can plug in your number. If you don't know the forms, if you know the forms, you're fine. But if you don't know the forms, where the number or the expense or the income is carrying it over to which form, if you don't have a knowledge of the forms, then you are out of luck. But if you know, fine. But if you don't know, I would suggest to use tax professional.
Hmm.
Comparatively,
Right.
it's not very expensive. The kind of work, the expertise, and the support and the protection, so average individual tax preparation cost anywhere from 150 to 350, 450, depending on, this is what average normal cost is.
Again, complexity of the tax
Exactly. So
return.
one should not, if somebody is making over $100,000, once a year spending $300-400, worry free, peace of mind. I think it's worth it. I don't know. We sometimes, we caught up so much in saving that $200-300. We are not realizing, the taxpayers are not realizing, they're jeopardizing their financial background. Why? Because sometimes it takes few years for IRS to get to you to catch the errors. And if it takes few years, that means is if you miss something and if you have to pay additional liability, then you have to pay interest and penalty.
Hmm. Right.
So that adds up more than that. But if tax professional is doing the job, normally tax professional is bounded by bond as well as the errors and omission. So
Hmm.
liability is always a taxpayer's responsibility, but tax professional can cover interest and penalties. You know, so that's why I always recommend it should not be taxpayer should not be focused so much on the pricing. They should find a tax professional who can support their return, who have a team to support.
Hmm.
So I will leave
Right.
it here. I think we pretty much covered all this in
Yes.
this episode. So I will take a leave from the audience and we'll come back on the next episode. In our next episode, we should cover some business parts. So individual, we pretty much covered
Hmm.
how to
Right.
approach. And definitely there are a lot of details in terms of tax returns. We'll get to that. So again, if any of our audience have any questions, please do write us the comment, and there should be an email address. You can always send an email or call us. So our number is 888 333 5994. Once again, our number is to call 888 333 5994. You can call us. Our customer service, Ali, Zach, we have multiple team members who can support you. You don't really have to depend on the tax professional to be available for your answer, because most of the time what happen is the client, the taxpayer, get frustrated with the tax professional. And when they're dealing with one man operation or two man, three man operation, and when they don't have a team. So obviously there are times that we humanly, I mean, we cannot answer every single call. It's not humanly possible. So you need a team. So this is why Tax Magic has established almost 25 team members, and we have CSR, we have accounting, we have tax professional, audits, and sales tax. So we have several different teams that manages several different departments. So once again, when you're selecting tax professional, always look for the team. It's always good, unless and until your tax return is very simple, that you really need that much of an attention. Once again, thank you very much for listening, and we'll be back with further exciting business related tax preparation topics. Once again, thank you very much for watching.